Hello and welcome back to History of Afghanistan. What if I told you that Afghanistan was once the heart of a great empire that connected Rome, India, and China? Today, we uncover the story of the Kushan Empire, an era when nomadic warriors became kings, Buddhism reached its peak, and Afghanistan stood as a global hub of culture and commerce. Our story begins in the aftermath of Alexander the Great's campaigns and the collapse of the Greek Seleucid Empire. The region saw various powers rise and fall, until one group, the Yuezhi tribes from Central Asia, migrated and settled in Bactria, northern Afghanistan. By the 1st century CE, their leader Kujala Kadphises united the tribes and founded the Kushan Empire. This was no ordinary tribal kingdom. The Kushans established a powerful dynasty that stretched from Afghanistan to northern India and parts of Central Asia. The most famous Kushan ruler was Kanishka the Great, who ruled in the 2nd century CE. Under his reign, the empire reached its zenith. He built his capital in Kapisa, near Kabul, and expanded trade, culture and religion across his territories. Kanishka embraced Buddhism and sponsored the 4th Buddhist Council in Kashmir, promoting the Mahayana school of thought. He also supported other religions like Zoroastrianism, Hinduism, and Greek-inspired cults, making his court a center of religious tolerance. The Kushans were masters of multiculturalism. Their empire blended Persian, Indian, Greek, and Central Asian influences. In art and sculpture, they left behind Gandhara art, a unique blend of Greek realism and Buddhist themes. This art spread Buddhism to China, Korea, and Japan through the Silk Road. Coins of the Kushan kings featured Greek letters, Persian deities, Indian gods and Buddhist symbols, all on the same coin. This shows how Afghanistan under the Kushans was not just tolerant, but proudly diverse. Afghanistan became a key node in the Silk Road, the ancient trade network connecting East and West. From cities like Balkh, Bamiyan, and Begram, traders exported lapis lazuli and precious stones, spices and textiles, Buddhist manuscripts and artwork. In return, they imported Chinese silk, Roman glassware, Indian ivory. Begram, near modern-day Cherekar, was a major trading center. Archaeologists have found Roman-style mirrors, Chinese lacquerware, and Indian statues, all in one place. Under Kushan rule, Buddhism thrived like never before. Massive monasteries were built in Bamiyan and Hadda. The famous Bamiyan Buddhas, giant statues carved into cliffs, were created during this era. Afghanistan became a beacon for Buddhist pilgrims from China and India. But the empire also protected Zoroastrian temples and other religious sites, promoting a rare harmony. The Kushans were organized and effective rulers. They issued standardized gold and copper coins, created weights and measures, and maintained roads for trade and communication. Governors ruled provinces like Kabul, Balkh and Herat, reporting to the emperor in the capital. This administrative efficiency helped keep a vast and diverse empire united for over 2 centuries. By the 3rd century CE, the empire began to weaken due to internal divisions and pressure from new powers like the Sassanid Persians. However, the legacy of the Kushans lived on. The spread of Mahayana Buddhism to China and beyond. The continued use of Gandhara art styles. The cultural openness that defined Afghan identity. Even centuries later, Sufi poets, Hindu kings, and Islamic scholars would reference the golden age of the Kushans as a model of prosperity and tolerance. So the next time you look at the ancient history of Afghanistan, remember the Kushans, not as invaders, but as builders of one of history's most remarkable empires. They made Afghanistan a center of art, trade, and spiritual growth that changed the course of history across continents. In our next episode, we'll explore the Sassanid influence in Afghanistan and how new Persian powers redefined the region after the Kushans. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to History of Afghanistan. Until next time, keep exploring the stories that shaped our world. Thank you for watching.